All right, welcome to Clean Freak, everybody. It's Adon Rig here with another episode of Clean Freak, and today got a great special guest, Mr. Rob. How do I pronounce your last name? Poleki.
Poleki, yep, you got it.
There you go, CEO and founder. So we're going to get into it a little bit. You're on Shark Tank. I can't wait to hear a little bit about that. But for those that don't know, I imagine you growing up, you weren't envisioning one day you would get involved in the cleaning industry and create a toilet seat product. So what led to that?
Oh my gosh. And I come from politics. I come from government, a career in government and in as a social worker, as an elected official. And I'm a guy that has tons of ideas and have lists of ideas. And one day my son was he's 4 years old at the time. And he needs to use the restroom at an airport. I'm not going to say what airport because they're going to be one of our customers one day. But we're waiting in line, and he's doing the potty dance, and a stall finally opens up, and we encounter a dirty toilet seat. Right, some guy had just peed all over the toilet seat. So I wipe it down, and I put a paper toilet seat cover on the seat, and my 4-year-old son is like, I'm not sitting on that. He's like kicking, he's screaming, he's not sitting on it, but he has to go use the restroom. So I go and grab some soap, some paper towels, and I clean off the toilet seat for him. He sits down, he's comfortable, he takes care of business, and that's where the light bulb idea comes from. So yeah, I never had any idea that I would be in toilet seat sales, but from politics to the cleaning industry to the restroom industry, same crappy business, my friend.
Well, it's funny you say that because I'm from Canada, and the first time I ever saw a toilet seat cover was I was real young. It was in the Chicago airport. So in America, maybe 80% of facilities seem to have toilet seat covers.
Yep.
In Canada, I'm going to say it's probably less than 10, like very, very few and far between. You never see toilet seat covers. They do exist, but maybe really nice hotels. That's about it. Most shopping malls don't have it, what have you. And so me being in the cleaning business, and it resonates with me, is I continually, hopefully if I'm walking into a washroom, I see the maid cart, I steal the disinfectant on the maid cart. If I don't do that, people are looking at me. I'm always getting a piece of paper towel. I'm wetting it. I'm putting on the hand soap, and I'm doing exactly what this does. And so your idea is a great idea. It really resonated when I saw it. And we'll show people what it is in a moment. But especially nowadays, right, with COVID and all that, people got to be more conscious of what they're using.
Yeah.
And just to give you a little thing, so my ex-wife and daughter, when we'd go out and stuff like that, they were famous for using a lot of toilet paper lining the toilet seat, right? Because there's no toilet seat covers in Canada.
Yep.
So just the overconsumption of using paper and all that stuff. So it's a great idea. I love how you came upon it.
Well, we must share some things in common because I'm originally from New Zealand, right?
Okay.
And in New Zealand, there's no paper toilet seat covers. It's just in America. Americans have some weird issues about toilets, even bidets. Men have issues about bidets. They don't want them. So America needs to kind of upgrade on their restroom facilities. So, when I first came out with the idea, I didn't think too many people did the same thing that I did. And so I put it out there and, tons of great responses. And that's why I kind of moved forward with it.
Yeah. No, it's funny. You talk about bidets. My first time experiencing a bidet, I was at a girlfriend's of my house. I was in grade 5, and we walked into her bathroom. She had 2 toilets. And I said, "What's that?" And then I pushed the button and go, because we're not used to them over here.
Yeah.
That's cool. So how long is this? How long ago was this? Like, you thought up the idea. Your son was 4. How long ago was that?
My son was 4 at the time. He's 9 right now.
Okay.
So It's been 5 years since I came up with the idea. It's been 5 years. Yeah. And, since I had a full-time job, I had to do this, on the side. This was always like, the Home Depot project. You know, me going out and buying all these toilet seats, getting a drill in my garage, and drilling holes in toilet seats. So it was always like the part-time thing, right?
Yeah.
Until I quit my job and I went full-time 2 years ago.
Well, let's get into that. But before we do, I'm just going to show the little video so if people know what the heck we're talking about. Do you want to line up the little bit video? What's the name of the product? And
yeah, Washi, the cleaner toilet seat. So we are actually the first smart toilet seat for public restrooms as well. But our our seat will eliminate paper toilet seat covers forever. You just gotta watch the video.
yeah, I love it. I love the smart. What do you say there? A smart toilet seat.
We're also a smart toilet seat for public restrooms.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Love it.
yeah.
All right, let's see the video here, and everyone get it. And I don't know why we have a little bit of the technical difficulty, but I think everyone got the gist of it. Yeah, the internet's really slow. I got high speed, so I don't know what the issue is. It might be on YouTube side, but I don't know why. But it's funny about that video because what you're doing there is you're saving me. Sometimes people looking at me, not sometimes, a lot. Like I'm in a public washroom, they're looking at me. I'm going boom boom on the paper towel. If there is no paper towel, and they have hands, and there's just hand dryers. I go into a stall. I get the toilet paper. I go to the sink. It's an ordeal. So I mean, this is a great idea, and there's got to be a huge percentage of people that think and do exactly what I do. I know the females in my life do it all the time. So, so those that don't know, you thought up the idea, and then how the heck did you get on the Shark Tank? And tell us about that journey.
Yeah. So just to give you some info, we did a survey. I mean, we surveyed 1,000 people, put our product out there, and we had a 93% rating on yes. They would use Washi, they love Washi. So 93% came back as positive feedback. And so everyone does their thing when they get in the restroom, right? And you just can't see it because it's behind closed doors. They're putting toilet paper down on the seat. They're doing all kinds of things. I've heard it all. So it's good to hear that other people share the same same experiences that I do. But yeah. So what happened was I was an elected official in the state of Idaho. I mean, you guys in Canada probably know what that is, right? I was voted into office, and I was an elected official. And at the same time, I had this idea, and I was trying to bring the idea to life, and I filed for a patent. And in 2018, I was issued a patent by the United States Patent and Trademark Office. So I decided to try out for Shark Tank. I went down to the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas and stood in line with about 5,000 other entrepreneurs. And the funny thing is I drove about 7 hours from where I live to Las Vegas with a toilet bowl and a toilet seat in my car. And it's the first version of it. It's this huge toilet seat that looks like one of your handicapped toilet seats. It's like 3 inches thick. It just does not look right. And, I Jimmy rigged this thing and make it, get it working. And it looks okay, right? So I get out of my car and I put this toilet bowl and a toilet seat on a push cart. And this thing is in the middle of CES, the biggest tech electronics show in the world. It's in Las Vegas. And here I am pushing a toilet bowl and a toilet seat in the middle of the casino, packed, thousands and thousands of people. And I was so embarrassed, And I was really hesitant on taking it out in the first place of my car. I didn't want to take it out. I was getting embarrassed, but like I drove all that way. I might as well just go stand in line. So pushing out the toilet seat, and I got a different reaction. Instead of people laughing, I I got people say, "What is that?" Like the crowd. Oh my gosh. I stood in line for like 5 hours, nonstop talking to people who wanted to see what it was. So I get onto the, I pitch to the producers and they love me. And out of 42,000 contestants, I made it down to like 90. And at that point, I was running for office, and they called me up and said, Rob, if you want to come on this show, you signed this document saying that you weren't running for office at the same time you're coming on Shark Tank. You can't be on a network while running for office. So they asked me, if you want to come on the show, you got to quit your job. So you know what? I thought to myself, I'm going to be a multi-millionaire once I hit Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Thinking like every entrepreneur, which is probably not the case. But I was like, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to quit my job. So I quit my government job with the best retirement, with best benefits, to take on this toilet seat idea. And so I made it down to 90, and we were getting ready. I was getting my pitch ready with the producers, buying stuff for my set. And they called me up one day and they said, Rob, we really apologize, but we found a better company, and we're going to have to cut you. So I didn't even make it on the show. I went through the whole process, and I was 2 weeks away from going down there and filming, and they cut me. And that was the
Wow.
biggest blow. That was the first punch in the gut I got from this toilet seat invention.
So you quit your job, you went all in, and you never even got on the show.
I never even got on the show. And I think, all things happen for a reason. If I would have gone on that show how early I was, it was an ugly looking prototype. I probably would have took any deal. Oh, if they would have said, I need 70% of the company, I probably would have said, yes,
Yeah.
I'll take
Yeah.
it. Right.
Yeah.
But these things happen for a reason, and they still keep in touch with me. Every year they call me up, Rob, how's things going? And I think one year I will be on the show, but I didn't make it. In 2018, I didn't make it.
Well, I think it'd be great for you to be on there, but it's a great idea. I don't think you need them, which is great. It's a great idea. So explain the. Always look at what's the objection, right? If I'm a customer, what's the objection? So if I'm the customer, I'm going, okay, what is it? What does it entail to install it? What's that look like?
Yeah. So customers, we're B2B, right? We sell to businesses, and customers are looking to provide their customers with a better restroom experience, right? So there's tons of studies that say, if your restrooms in your restaurant or your mall or your airport are dirty, most likely people won't eat there. Most likely people won't return or spend money. There's studies
Yeah.
that say if you provide them with better restroom facilities, they're more likely to spend up to 15% more than when they would in your facility. So, it's this unconscious thing about restrooms that people are finding out. If you provide customers with cleaner restrooms, your revenue can go up. But, that's one thing. But I think the most important thing is that, we're eliminating this psychological thing called the paper toilet seat cover, which is absorbent. It doesn't work. It's just psychological. You put a drip of water on there, and it breaks. So anything can seep through, right? So it really does nothing. And the reason I invented this thing was because my son didn't want to sit on it, and I wanted to let him sit on a clean seat, and I didn't want to let him sit on somebody else's mess. So that's the same approach that my customers are going to get when they buy this thing, is that we're going to provide our employees or whoever is using our facilities cleaner restrooms, and in return we will get something back. We will get positive feedback for cleaner restrooms, increase revenue. They'll return to our restaurants, return to our facilities. So that's on the B2B aspect of it. That's the approach.
And what goes what goes into the container when they're putting their hand to the sensor? What's coming out?
So we have a formulation. It's our own formulation, and it's a cleaner, right? We do not have in the U.S. we have EPA, and we do not have any kill claims. We will one day, when we register our product, but as of right now, we are the cleaner toilet seat. But it's a soap. It's a type of soap that will clean the seat off.
Yeah. Well, cleaning is much more important than disinfecting, right? I mean, clean. Let me rephrase that. You got to clean first before you disinfect. So, it makes sense. Right? Disinfectant can't go through a puddle of urine and stuff like that, right? So that's good for you. So how do you go to market? You B2B, but do you have distributors? How's that work?
Yeah. So, our problem, especially with COVID hitting, is that we have had tons of delays. We have no inventory, and we finally just received inventory like 2 weeks ago. And because of COVID and because of the amount of marketing that I put out there, we have a ton of customers, right? People knocking on the door from everywhere, from nation, like in the U.S. and internationally. But the problem is trying to get it here because of COVID. Manufacturers slowed down. 2 engineers that were working on the project had left. So, I've been running into manufacturing problems, but we finally fixed everything, solved everything. So we have decided to launch in airports. Airports are our target because tons of people are going to be back into airports. Tons of people are flying, and it's the only place they can use the restroom. Once you pass security, you are stuck. You can't go home to use the restroom. You have to use the restroom facility there before you get off the plane, after you get off the plane. Women have to sit 100% of the time. So we are going after airports, and a lot of business professionals are in airports, so they'll see our product and want to take it back to their facility. So airports is key for us, but stadiums, hospitals, gas stations will be next. But our initial launch will be with airports. As far as distributors, the biggest distributors that are at ISSA have contacted us. They're in touch. Some are waiting for us to launch, and some are waiting for us to get inventory in. I want to control everything the first year, make sure that I have a good working product, make sure I know how everything works. I'm from government. I do not know a ton about distribution, but I'm learning along the way. And we have problems, good problems, but there's still problems.
Yeah. Well, it's been a very, very interesting time, and getting things across the border and stuff like that. Big challenges. So good for you. So you mentioned ISSA. Are you going to plan to be at ISSA this year? I
will be. I am going to submit the Washi toilet seat for the what is the award
Innovation
called?
Of the Year?
Innovation of the Year, my friend.
Yeah.
So I'm going to submit that this year, and hopefully that brings a lot of eyes to our product.
Good for you. You should find out where it is, where what convention center is, and give the convention center. Yeah, but where it is, and then go into the convention center and give them all free and put them all on the toilet seats in the convention, so people go in and they're using it.
Yeah. Guess where I was last week? I was doing that last week in Vegas.
Good for you.
Yeah. So we are talking with them, and
good for you.
We're trying. We haven't locked anything down, but we're trying to get in there.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. So, what's your plans for 2021? Moving forward, like you got your inventory now. You're going to focus on airports. What's your plans for the rest of the year? Are you going to go through distribution? Are you doing that on your own?
Yeah. So right now, the company is a 3-man team. Just me, my partner Dane Simmons, and we have my assistant that we finally promoted to a director of operations. So we do everything. Like it
Yeah.
is, you should see our warehouse. We are testing right now. We're testing. We're testing tons and tons of toilet seats to make sure when we install them, they have no issues. But from the marketing side to the operations side, I mean, we have been doing everything. So hopefully, here in the next 2 or 3 months, we begin to expand and grow a little. We are focused on the West Coast of the U.S. and launching on the West Coast, just because we live on the West Coast, and it'll be easier for us to visit these facilities and make sure that the seeds are in good condition. And then eventually we'll branch out. So along the way, we've met with some big hitters. We've met with huge gas station chains, even some that are in Canada. When we were in ISSA Canada last year, we were able to install some at a hotel, and 2 airports wanted to, purchase Washi, but because of Canada's EPA laws that we didn't know about, it's going to be tough for us to come over there. So maybe we'll discuss that, my friend. But we've been talking to so many big hitters and so many airports, SeaTac, Dallas Fort Worth, Salt Lake City, Boise Airport. We've had these huge discussions. The biggest problem is just getting the inventory, which now we're solved, and we'll probably have 30 to 50,000 seats this year, and we're going big. We're launching in airports, and then getting some marketing out, and then we're going globally.
I love it. I think it's a great idea. I really do. It's one of those conversations people don't normally talk about, but yeah, I mean, every single time I use the washroom, even in my office here, I'm grabbing something. And I eventually think most people like that, definitely a lot of women, if there's no toilet seat covers, they're putting toilet paper down and all that stuff. You're going to save on toilet paper if you're a facility. And yeah, I think it's a great idea. So if someone's interested, wants to learn more, how do they find out about you? And how do they find out about you?
So let me add a comment about women. Since women sit 100% of the time, I swear, like 2 to 3 times a week on our Facebook and our Instagram pages, there is some new a female thanking us for making this product, because it's just unfair that they have to sit 100% of the time, and facilities aren't the cleanest. So we have females thanking us all the time on our social media pages, and so it's kind of make us feel a little good. But if you want to find me, WashieToiletSeat.com. You can find out more about our smart toilet seat. Oh, I didn't go over the smart piece, but and then also on LinkedIn, if you're a business professional and want to connect just with my story. Most people connect with me because I've been punched in the stomach so many times on this entrepreneur journey, and I just won't stop until I'm gonna win. So I'm a former athlete, so I just want to win, and I'm gonna win. So one day, Washi's down.
Well, one of the big things about winning is having a good product, and you've got that. So that's the good part. You got the product. You got a good product. You got the inventory, and you just came out of COVID. So people are a lot more aware of sanitizing and all that stuff. And I don't know what the study would be, but the amount of toilet paper facilities are going to save using this, and just the time of one clogged toilet, because there's a lot of toilet paper goes down, especially people using it to sit down. And that toilet seat covers get clogged. Toilets get clogged quite a bit, and that's a huge cost and potential water damage and all kinds of things. So I think you got a winner there. So it's a Washie toilet seat cover, WASHIE toilet seat cover.
No, WashieToiletSeat.com.
WashieToiletSeat.com. And this is great. It's you're a breath of fresh air. I can see the passion. That you got a great product, and let's get the name out there. Let's let people know about it, because you got a winner there, at least in my eyes.
Well, I definitely appreciate you having me on the show and all the support, my friend.
All right, so we'll hang tight there. And everybody, you've been watching Clean Freak. We come to you every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Pacific. And you have been watching us with the WashieToiletSeat.com. Check it out. It's the smart toilet seat of the future. And you've been watching Clean Freak. I'll see you next week.